Anyway, so again, that's a second whistleblower, and I guarantee you will never see that story unless you watch Fox TV last night.
It's a banana republic.
It's
It's
unbelievable.
a banana republic.
I think you're going to talk about freedom of the press in our media later on. Possibly
I will.
Later today. Is that possible? Not right now because we don't want to spoil the surprise. Anyway, so we got that going for us and a trillion things and stuff. A quick Venmo thank you, too, also. Very, very quickly. Here we are. Oh, no, don't get over there. Here we go. Boop. Okay, our very sweet lady, we mentioned Fernando having a new crew back last week, and then our a good lady friend, Kimber Babe Margaret, made us a very nice donation and called us friends. So isn't that so sweet? Thank you, Margaret. That is very, very, very sweet. Anyway, we got a whole bunch of newsy stuff and all that kind of thing. It's a couple of sound bites to show that President Bumblehead has now done it again. Have you heard about his latest gaffe in Ireland? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We'll get to it in a second. First of all, I'm so embarrassed about this. And you guys, and again, you were kind of ripping me, and for good reason. I mean, it's not a thing about my teases. Remember, we had a whole big thing about whether I should tease things that are in the podcast because Pete said it's stupid.
The whole thing was a tease shouldn't be a whole segment. That lasts 20 minutes.
All right, and then we went off on you. But anyway, so that was that was an old thing. All right, so anyway, so here's what happened. Remember our last show this week? I deliberately teased a story I wanted to get to, and then I got into such a hurry at the end, I forgot to do the story I was teasing. So here now is the story I was teasing from last time we were there, and I forgot. It was the anniversary of a death in the desert, Laughlin, Nevada. It was April 10th, 1992. A Trans Am driven by this personality collided head-on with a pickup truck driven by a 17-year-old boy who later exclaimed, "Look what you did to my truck." The guy in the Trans Am was Sam Kinison. He had come from a sold-out concert nearby. The other driver, the 17-year-old kid, said, "Look what you did to my truck." Sam Kinison stumbled from, this. I get tingly when I think about this because this could change your opinion of heaven and hell. Sam Kinison. And you know who he was. He was a screaming. In fact, do we have any sound bites him and we could play? Did we ever find one, Flounder? If you feel like it. Pete,
What's
you decide.
What's the source of this story?
There were people there.
Who?
Jesus, I don't know. It doesn't list all of them, but the boy for one, and the people. It was his wife was in the car, and they were there when he climbed. Oh my God, you're such a.
I just want to know.
Okay,
who
there
it was.
There were witnesses there, including his wife. Somebody couldn't think what a fart.
I'm a journalist. I'm a journalist, damn it.
My God, Jesus, are we married? I don't even know if we're married. I think we're married. Okay, it's stumbled from his car. Sam Kinison stumbled from his car and collapsed, asking God, "Why do I have to die? Why now do I have to die?" After a pause, he whispers, "Okay, okay, okay." And then he died.
But knowing Sam Kinison, what if he had planned this his entire life?
Oh my God, you're
that he was going to say this.
I know. Oh my God. I'm going to kill my. I'm going to tear my eyes
How
out
did
in
he
my
know
ears.
he was going to die?
I'm going to rip my throat out. I'd like to announce my retirement, ladies and gentlemen.
How many people in a car crash are able to get out of the car, walk a bit, and talk out loud, and then die?
You're a minister.
How many
You're
times
an ordained minister.
This never happens. Damn it, where's the video?
Anyway, forget it. That's it. But one of my favorite all-time things that we used to use the sound on our radio show was from Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield. Say it, with those couple
Mr. Halbert.
Because I was there. I wasn't in the classroom, it's just...
Listen to the Beatles albums.
Like you. Why did MacArthur cross the parallel? It was just hysterical.
I have him singing the love song. That's the one.
This is my other favorite. He takes to the piano. It might have been on Carson. I don't remember what show it was, but he was on performing, and maybe it was at one of his own shows, and he was describing his love and how he'll never get over this certain lady.
I wrote this about this girl that I met about 5 years ago. I was going to come out with some money, I'm trying to live out here for a while, and I met this girl and I wanted to impress her, you know, so we went through all my cash in about a year. Then one day she said, you know, Sam, there's something missing from our relationship. I said, what would be the cash by any chance, would it, honey? She said, no, we found so many special things about each other. I hate to see it all go to waste because the passion's gone. She says, can't we still, like, see each other once in a while and have lunch or see a movie or just to be friends? I said, yeah, friends. I think I know what you mean. I become some kind of emotional tampon that you need 4 or 5 days a month. The moment else will take your fucking bullshit. But we don't fuck. Isn't that about right, honey? That's what friends is. We don't fuck, right? She said, well, yeah, that's kind of it. Word of the song goes like this. You fucking whore! You use me! You never loved me! I'll be a slide under a gas truck and taste your own fucking blood! Die!
I should have warned some people now.
I want my fucking records back!
I want my records back! Sorry. Flounder, I'm sorry. Should we have? You're going to have to do a little editing, man. I don't know what.
No, we should have warned people about
We'll
that.
put a big warning on this one. Warning, danger. Oh my lord! But mercy.
That little cussing brought to you by, not proudly, Atlanta Custom Closets. ClosetPro.net. Just call them 404-255-0589. It's Atlanta Custom Closets. Doesn't matter what time of year it is. Everybody, Mother's Day's coming up.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
And keep the lady. If you mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So that's a great gift idea.
Closet.
Yeah, absolutely. Custom closet. Atlanta Custom Closets. Outstanding. An air fryer update.
What did you do with it?
You're not an air fryer guy, right?
I don't have one.
Okay. Now Flounder kind of has been begging me to get one, or not begging me. He's been suggesting I should get one for a long time.
Amanda.
And our friend, our accountant and hot babe friend Cindy gave me one that I don't know where she stole it from, or whatever. I got it from from an overnight Walmart shipment, but
it fell off the back.
Could have been a warehouse thing. Truck goes over a bump, something falls out. Hell, you want to leave it in the road? Take it to put it on your porch in case he comes back. I don't know. She did the right thing, I'm sure. Anyway, so there's a tag on it. No, sorry. Anyway. Air fryer. So the first thing I did, I was telling Flounder, and I went to the store, and I love chicken thighs, dark meat chicken thighs. Yeah. And so I got a bag 4 of them, and I put it in the. Now that had the symbols on the air fryer. It never actually explains what they are. It just shows them, and there's one that looks like a condom with a ribbon around the bottom of it, which I was hoping was a turkey leg or a chicken leg with a little bow they used to make. Have you ever seen that symbol?
Nope.
It's anyway. So if you're having a steak, a symbol of a steak, or you're making a whatever, it's going to hit the symbol and it takes care of it by itself. You don't have to arrange the temperature and time. So I was assuming that was the symbol for chicken, which it turned out to be. And I put all the video on on Rumble, and it came out great. I mean, the skin was crispy.
It's obviously not going to be as good as something on the grill and stuff like that, but it was
as good as
it seasons well. It keeps. It doesn't get dry, which is a big thing.
It was very good. Now and then I went to the store and I bought a bag of they were called air fryer crispy fries or crispy fries. Air fryers or something, they were obviously made to go on an air fryer. So I said, okay, I'll try this. And here's I'm so stupid. The directions on the bag of the fries said preheat your air fryer to 360 degrees or whatever. And I said, well, I didn't know you could preheat them. So I said, well, I'll do this. And so I pushed the power button and everything came on and started working. 360 degrees it's automatically set for 360 like 15 minutes, and I started counting on the minutes. I said, well, is that preheating it? So I waited the whole time, shut it off again. Said, well, that can't be it. So it just the whole, So then I realized I really hadn't read the instructions. So
what a shot.
Yeah, how unusual. So anyway, but they came out great. I figured I did it wrong, but I figured it out, and they came out great, crispy. In fact, crispy French fries, and they weren't dark brown overcooked. They were just crispy. So
Another thing to do is the next time you have French fries and you bring them home, put them in the air fryer. They're all,
will that help them?
Yeah,
really?
I mean, yeah, because the
Even
one
old.
thing you can never reheat in the microwave or the oven that's good are French fries.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Forever.
That's why Five Guys fries is so good because they're such high quality.
In fact, that's the thing.
When you redo them.
The fries you get, even McDonald's or Wendy's, or who does does Wendy's still do curly fries or no, Arby's?
Arby's.
Whatever. I mean, but their all those fries are good. I mean, they're good, tasty fries. Better than I would, make myself. Anyway, so that a little update on that. A stupid nitpick. I know. Oh, we got a present to open. Oh God, I forgot. We got 2 things.
And I've got something for y'all too.
Well, look at it now. The other day, I was feeling kind of sad. Just had a little nervous breakdown. And I made some cookies. Now these are like 2 days old, and they are white chocolate chip macadamia. So, they're not. I mean, they're like at least 2 days.
2 days old.
2 days old.
Well, I'll take them.
All right. Anyway, so between you and Flounder, and again, they're probably
share.
a little harder than they would. But I'd nuke them for like 8 seconds or something if I were to do it. And if you want some Flounder, please help yourself. And also, by the way, what was I talking about to remind me to come back? The roasters. Okay, remind me about roasters. Got that here. We got a package, Kimmer Media from the post office box, from James in Atlanta. And it says open on podcast. So I guess we shall.
So you can kill us all at the same time.
Now here's the thing. I have no. If this goes off. You got your little knife I gave. Do you still carry that I gave? This is cool. Show him that knife. That I gave you that. Did I give you one of these, Flounder, years ago? I don't think you were working for us then. In fact,
you might not have been with us.
You weren't even.
You know
with
what?
us
You
then.
probably gave it to Cheeseburger.
I probably did.
No, what was?
No, to 100 or a quarter pounder.
Quarter pounder.
Quarter pounder. You'll have your clothes off by the time you get to the car.
Yeah, it's probably during that.
It's a USMC kind of a knife thing.
Made in China, I think.
Oh, there goes my phone. Yunk. This thing is sharp too, by the way.
It's
This thing is
still
really sharp.
Should have soaked that in the sink, probably.
There you go. Now, okay, card. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, and Lucas, all of us. Oh, man, he's got... when you tape a card, you don't have to tape every millisecond.
Mom.
It says, there it is, right back there. And there's things looking, and I get like birthday hats or something. James, patron of the Masters. How did I manage to miss your birthday? Oh, anyway, so it's a birthday present, but obviously for the crew. Now, oh, Jesus, now what has he done here?
Good Lord.
A box in a box or something. Here we go.
No one will be allowed to leave the podcast during the exciting opening of the box segment.
Oh, it's a Masters Crow's Nest.
Wow.
Oh my God! Look at this. There's
Crow's
3 of them. There's
Wow.
3 Masters cups.
Look at
Look at that, boys.
Look at that.
And oh my God! Look at 3 Masters hats. This is unbelievable. Masters. I want the black one.
All right. Who
oh my
wants
God!
to- okay, we got 2 greens and a white.
2 greens and well, you say I got the hat I wanted, so you
I'll
take either
take
of
this
those.
one.
All right.
I'll take this.
They're
all the same,
There's
I
something
think.
more in here. Hold on a minute. I don't know what the hell all this is.
See, I could have gotten this if I'd actually gone last week.
This is. It's for Kitty. That's some
Temptations.
cat treats for Kitty. The Spectator Guide. And
Pick a cup,
and I don't. Oh, these are Masters plastic bags of something. No, that's not it. What is this? Oh, it's a what the hell is this? Oh, it's a Masters bag.
Oh, cool.
A Masters plastic. How cool is that? Anyway, thank you. I can't believe it.
That's really nice.
Oh, Kitty
Thank you for the cup.
It's all right. Oh, Kitty wants to go.
I have a big Masters tumbler that I bring out once a year
This is
for that week.
This is unbelievable.
Now I have something else.
In fact, I got. How about you? Here, this is all. Yeah, you can keep all that stuff there if you wanted to. Anyway, you take a cup there, Flounder, and a hat, and. I didn't mean to make you pick up after me. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it.
I didn't get a hat.
Well, there you are. Excellent. Let's see. Well, that was kind of fun. That was kind of cool.
Where's the rest of the
Let's see.
What do you think?
Oh, they're great hats.
It's great curved.
Yeah, they have great curves. They're great hats. Yeah. No question about it. They're perfect.
I'm
They're
going to
actually
look at myself in the mirror.
Yeah, I would. Outstanding. I mentioned this is silly, but I was mentioning about the air fryer. Flounder, do you ever do this? I mentioned before that when I'll go to the store, I'll look for bags of a combination of broccoli and cauliflower together. And now they're all of a sudden
carrots in there too. Normally.
Yeah, I don't like the carrots, but I get the one of broccoli and cauliflower, and I used to get them all the time, and they come in a bag like that. All of a sudden, it's almost impossible.
No,
to find them.
they're here at Publix.
Well, I know. Yeah, they're here in Publix. The problem is the ones they have on the shelf now are almost all slightly smaller bag, and it says roasters now steam in bag. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the roasters, which I did find one bag of. Anyway, I don't know why they haven't stopped doing that in a while, because it says, the combination, but you do it in the bag and it just gets steamed. It heat from the microwave. It's horrible. So I'm going to try that tonight on my...
just take them out and put them in the air fryer. Put a little olive oil and salt and pepper, and they're good to go.
And one thing, tell me whether this makes sense. I looked up. I couldn't find any recipes about how if you can't find. There was no hamburger on the door to hit a symbol. So I had to look up how many minutes you cook a hamburger. I have no idea. But I did find in one of the little booklets, and it said hamburger between 7 and 15 minutes.
You just got to gauge it.
How is that? My God.
Well, it depends on who makes the burger and how big the patty is.
Yeah. So anyway, it'll be fun trying to figure out. I didn't buy, but I did.
So a lot of it's kind of R&D, research
I did
and development.
buy the thing of pork tenderloin, seasoned pork Monterey seasoned
okay.
Montreal seasoned pork tenderloin.
I think we plumbed the depths of the air.
Okay.
Wait, I got something for y'all.
All right. Oh, you do?
I got this, and I had a couple out last night, and they're good. They're just not my taste.
Yeah. All right.
So I don't know if you guys don't want them, then I can just toss them.
All right.
Girl Scout Thin Mint Pretzels. So it's already open. Come on, try them out.
Yeah, you can. I would probably not.
If you like them, keep them, because I'm not gonna eat all.
It's funny. I love junior mints, cold refrigerator junior mints. I don't like
thin mints.
I don't like thin mints cookies.
You good? Yeah. You should try one.
Well, I'll try one.
Try one.
Thank you, sir.
It's a pretzel.
Hand delivered.
Try it. What do you think? It's a food segment.
It's
not bad.
It's tasty.
Yeah. I just prefer the cookie.
Yeah. But I don't taste the pretzel part very much. It tastes like a cooked chocolate-covered cookie.
That's what it tastes like. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you. Well, by the way, I get on binges. All of a sudden, this is all I can drink now.
That's good stuff. It's bad for you, but it's really good.
Well, it's fruit punch, but it's
all
got
sugar. What's the first
It's
ingredient?
110 calories.
What's the first ingredient?
Well, I don't know.
Sugar.
wonderful sugar. It says it's wonderful sugar.
If the first ingredient is sugar,
yeah, eat me.
But it's tasty as hell.
Wait a minute.
Tell everybody what it is.
All right, wait a minute. I will. No. Okay.
You want some peanut butter too?
Ingredients.
Ritz crackers and peanut butter?
Oh, you know what kills me is when they list ingredients by the serving. You know, I mean, not the ingredients. They list the calories and fat and stuff like that by the serving. The problem is, the way have you ever noticed, you know, how many servings are we talking about? They could have a bottle like this, and to try to make it look as though, oh, there's only 12 calories a serving, there's 95 servings in here. You know, that's their biggest trick. Okay, this.
So read the...
ingredients. Pure filtered water.
That's good.
High fructose corn syrup.
That's the worst possible sugar.
High fruit. That's the big one.
That's why it tastes so good.
Yeah. All right. Pear. How about that? Pear. Oh my God. The fruits. I love pears. I love pears. Pear, pineapple, and orange juices from concentrate. Passion fruit juice. Citric acid provides tartness. Sugar is way down the list. Natural flavors. Modified cornstarch, glycerol ester of rosin, potassium sorbate and sodium benzoate, sodium hexametaphosphate, and calcium disodium etna to protect taste. Red dye number 40,
which is bad for you.
And
red
green
dye.
number 3. Now red dye number 2 was the bad one. That's the one they banned. I guarantee it was.
They
dye
banned
number
the
2?
new one too.
Oh my God!
The one that's in everything, from M&M's, everything. All red dye is bad. All of it.
Hey, FDA. Okay, a little something here. You go.
Don't spill it all over yourself, please.
Oh God, I love you.
I hope no one saw that.
Yeah.
I can't.
Oh, they've been long gone by now.
I can't unsee that.
They left it this section about my air fryer. Shut up. Leave me alone. All right. I've had a bad week. I've had a bad 19 years. Anyway, all right. So we got the hat. Oh, just a little thing.
I got my your taxes all done. Personal taxes.
Yeah, Cindy's done it. Yes,
Did your now, Flounder? What about you? Are you all right with it? Yep. Good. I mailed mine. I have a guy in New York who was.
You finally got him?
Yeah, I did. Finally got him, and I can't believe this. I guess I don't know anything about tax stuff. As you know, we have no income. I mean, I'm living on Social Security, and
which is good when it comes to tax
the
time.
pittance of what we, that $90 a week it helps a lot.
The IRS actually sent us a consolation
so sorry.
letter. Say we are so sorry
about your income drop. You know how much money I never mind. And so I'm not making any money, and I spent almost $30,000 in cash, not covered by medical stuff, on basically teeth and stuff like that. Almost 30 grand, and in my taxes, I still owe the federal government $500.
How the hell does that happen?
I mean,
that just makes no sense.
I know. I mean, no income. Jeez, I mean, all right, whatever. I'm just saying. Here's the thing. So my tax guy needed to get my check or my signed form for electronic filing, whatever, by the 18th of April, or that's the new deadline. Yeah. Okay. So I go to the post office. You walk into the post office. I always go right to the counter, and I said it was an envelope, and I said I need to get this to New York in a couple of days. She said, "Oh, okay." I said I don't need it overnight, but I needed to get there in a couple of days. This was Wednesday, and so Wednesday morning. She says, "Oh, okay." And so she says, click, sign here, and it was $12.95 or whatever, $18.9, whatever it was. And I said, oh, okay, when will that get her? She says, oh, let's see, guaranteed here by Monday or Tuesday. I said, well, okay, remember when I said I'd like to get there in a couple of days, and this is Wednesday? Okay, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday would be 3 days, and then Saturday would be 4, and Sunday would be 5, and Monday would be, like 6. I'm trying to keep, I say, well, okay. I said, don't you have, it used to be a couple of days you had a thing,
2 days.
No, you don't. No, you could either do it overnight for $29.95 for a freaking envelope, or, and I said, screw it. I said, if I'm late, I'm late. Let them freaking come and get me. So I said, I'll take the cheaper one for $13 to go to freaking New York in 5 days. Now, I'm really not bitching about the post office. They just raised the rate now. It's 60 cents, I think, for a stamp.
What?
Yeah. But again, to me, that's a bargain. If you can put a 60-cent thing on a piece of mail and put it in the thing, and 4 days later it's in California at the guy's door, that's really, I can't complain about it.
Do you know when the first stamp was used?
I read this in a history thing not long ago, but I don't. The Stamp Act in the colonies, I assume.
The first stamp that was ever used was in Britain in the 1840s. It took that long for people to figure out how those stamps.
Really?
Before then, it was all COD. You'd send something to somebody, and he would demand that you pay for it. And a lot of people were poor. It was a shilling, which was like $200. They couldn't afford that, so they wouldn't. So they have to send it back. So there was all that mail that was completely unread until they came up with a stamp that made it cheaper to send it, and you didn't have to pay once you received it.
Well, anyway, I just thought it was. I don't remember ever not being able to say I need to get there in a couple of days, and it said okay. And
I think
now
they got rid of that.
I don't. I guess. Anyway, a couple of things. Excuse me. The president showers with daughter is in Ireland. He may be on the way back as we speak, but he's been in Ireland for several days with Hunter. He took Hunter with him, highlighting Hunter.
Rubbing it in our face.
Yeah, it's exactly what he's doing. After all the stuff that's just come out about the laptop and the $1 million which they can trace to the family, and Fox have been playing all those remembering from the 2019 and 2020 of President Crime Family saying, "Oh, I've never talked about any of this with my son. They don't have a smidgen of proof. I mean, it's unbelievable stuff." And they've got it anyway. So he's over in Ireland. It turns out this man is so befuddled that every time he would go by a store, he would brag to his son, Hunter, there's another one. That was your great-grandfather, Patio Furniture. It was a wonderful representative of our family clan. Yes, Patty Furniture was he was a little confused. He thought Patty was so famous for
As a part Irishman, I'm offended by that.
Well, you ought to be. Yeah, he's yours, Pally boy. Well, where I come from, we'd have taken care of people like that. Anyway, 2 stories. In fact, one of them I got to get to my phone to get, but the other one was this. I just heard this one a little while ago. I got to get my stupid glasses on. Sorry. Here we go. He's in Ireland, and as you know. The president is befuddled. Judge Robert's not at 5. Judge Robert's not at 5. Well, he mixed up the New Zealand rugby team with the historic British occupying Nazi-like force of tough guys in Ireland.
Black and tans?
Yeah, when he would, God, you're gonna go nuts at this because you're. I mean, look at him. He's gonna faint. I swear to God, you're gonna fall over.
He equated the All Blacks.
No, wait. Let me do it. Hold on. No, hold on. You can bring us up historically here in a second. Okay. He brought up the topic after mentioning his tie he was wearing, which was given to him by a distant cousin named Rob Kearney. Kearney is I think it's sort of a Scottish thing. Kearney is an Irish rugby player whose team recently beat, quote, New Zealand's All Blacks. That's the name of the team. So the Irish rugby player team beat the All Blacks. Quote, President showers with daughter. This was given to me by one of these guys right here. He was a hell of a rugby player. He beat the hell out of the Black and Tans. The Black and Tans were the British law enforcement group that held occupied Ireland beginning in the 1920s. A paramilitary organization known for brutality toward dissident Irish citizens, the Black and Tans are a common cultural symbol of the years of all that violent, vicious occupation. Well, the official transcript from the White House quietly covered it up, replacing Black and Tans with All Blacks, just to save him. Secondly, he's in a receiving line. Hunter is behind him. A little boy talks to our president and says, Mr. President, what would you, I got to pick the exact word. What would you say is the most basic step for success? And President showers with daughter said, well, I would say, the one thing to be best is we all got the vaccine, which make no sense. And so Hunter talks to him and says, Dad, he's wondering, what's the key to success? Well, the key to success, I mean, Jesus. It was, oh my God. It's like his son is trying to know. He wants to ask you, what is the key to being successful in your life? Holy crap.
They're just proof.
I mean, it's just unbelievable.
There are no adults in charge. No one's paying attention. Nobody cares what happens. The government everybody's washed their hands of the government. They're going to do what they want to do. There's nothing I can do to change it. To hell with it. I'll just try and live my life.
I'm telling you, they're asking for it. I mean, I keep saying they're asking for it. And again, Francine Regine from the Podium Princess. Ooh, she's black. She's gay. She's a girl. It's 3. No wonder she got that job. Oh, my God. By the way, little curly Q, known as Surly Temple, has now defended the fact that the president doesn't do news conferences anymore by saying he really actually does. When they asked him, how come he does? She said, well, he's talked answering questions on the tarmac more than any president in history. She relates somebody screaming a question as he's getting on the helicopter as a news conference. And it was Ducey. I wasn't even Ducey now. It was other people saying, well, we need to be able to ask him questions, he does more, their time, the schedule, and he answers more questions from all you people every day than anyone ever has. It does a shouted questions at news conference.
Well, it works.
They're scared. They can't put him out there. And by the way, if he in fact does run, and again, I've said from the beginning, he's not going to run. Remember, I've said this for 2 years. He's not running for president.
Hunter had to answer questions for him this morning.
They're going to. I'm sorry. Who did?
Oh, damn it.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, that's
Never mind.
It's okay, fine. Well, you got shit to do over there. I'm sorry. No, he does. You got to eat. You got to do a computer. He's editing his shit for Saturday. Day. I mean, he's been working on some 4 in the morning. I mean, come on, give me a break. I have no idea what I was talking about right now. Anyway, whatever. I lost everything right there. It's all gone. Squirrel. Shit, that's all gone. Crap.
Well, he's sure.
Oh no, I remember. Hold on, you can do it in a second. I remember. If he won't, but if he were to run again, he's not going to get away with that hiding in the basement stuff.
Yes, he is. What do you think they're going to do?
I think if he tried to do that again, I don't think the media would let him get away with it.
What world are you living in?
I think honestly, I think. Well, maybe I'm hoping there would be some sense of self-respect. I guess
this is the same.
I know.
The same media.
Yeah, I know.
So, let's do this right now.
Okay.
Just right now about the media. We're talking about how they've completely gone nuts.
Yeah.
And Glenn Greenwald pointed this out. The Washington Post put out an opinion. The Washington Post. These are the guys who brought down a presidency.
Yeah, that's right.
These are the guys
who won the Pulitzer Prize for fake Russian importing, along with the New York Times.
Right.
Yeah.
And how did they bring down Nixon? Using sources, deep sources like Deep Throat and others. Sources, leaked documents, stuff like that.
Pentagon Papers. And
Washington, that's New York Times doing that. Washington Post puts out the most damaging part of the leaked Ukraine documents is the leak itself. The Washington Post urges the Biden DOJ to find and punish the leaker. In other words, to go after exactly what we used to help democracy, the republic, for decades. Now, since it's a Democrat in charge, we have to protect them. We have to protect power.
They tried to get a censorship bureau in the administration. Remember that? Thank God.
Well, they've got it in there. We just don't hear about it.
But they wanted to make an official Bureau of Truth Information. I mean, this is unbelievable.
And he points out, this is the place that has democracy dies in darkness as their motto, telling the government they should find and prosecute a leaker, which is what journalists are supposed to rely on.
Well, in fact, I just saw again the other night, another example, one after another. In fact, who's one of them, the guy from Substack, is now suing the president because he and the Justice Department tried to stop him, or did stop him from going on Twitter. Was it Greenwald?
Taibbi, maybe?
No, I don't think it was. It might have been Greenwald.
It might have been Greenwald.
Yeah, and he's actually suing. And I remember him saying something. Well, it'd be hard to try to sue the president of the United States, but there's actually the Department of Justice, under the orders of the White House, is to stop him from saying all the stuff he was saying about the pandemic and the medicines, about the COVID vaccine. And they shut him down, and they said, he shouldn't be saying that stuff. You got to get him off of Twitter. And they went to Twitter, and Twitter banned him. And so he's suing because talk about a violation of the freedom of speech.
Yeah,
and freedom of the press. Yeah. The White House saying get rid of him because we don't want him speaking to the public. Oh my God!
And nobody cares.
Boy, you can see the riots in the street right now. The one. Oh no, we got stuff to think about. So why would we want to care about that? Honestly, that's if we don't have that, it's the end. It's over.
What we have to do is get black people to care. Because as we're finding out in Tennessee, it doesn't matter what you do. If you scream and holler racism enough, you'll get your way.
Well, let's talk about that. In fact, that's a. And by the way, they're coming. I guess they're coming back now, or they.
Well, the biggest mistake was not getting rid of the fat white liberal girl too. That was a mistake. They had to get rid of all of them. So they left themselves an out.
Yeah.
A bad out, so they could be used against them.
Well, in fact, speaking of that, which I think is freaking hysterical. I
love the fact that the black representative or whatever he is. 2 years ago when he ran, was the clean-cuttest, best speaking young man you've ever seen in your life.
He was running for president of I can't remember the name of the university, but anyway, he was running for president. He did a video, suit and tie, short hair.
Oh my God!
And I think Tucker had on it, and he said, if you were not watching that, you would have said, well, that's a nice young man, probably going to be an orthodontist one day. Okay.
And what he was saying was good stuff.
He said everything. He said his goal was to bring. He said, I know there aren't many black people here, but my goal is to bring all of us together to have inclusion for every point of view. He had shots of students sitting around talking with each other of all different things, to have a consensus for for all of us to be together, to inclusion and so forth. And then the next thing you see, cut to modern day, at the age of 23 or whatever, got elected to the state house, and all of a sudden I swear to God, he's the guy who says the roosters come home to roost. Who was that?
No. Malcolm X was always clean cut.
And Martin Luther King.
He's the other one that was shot here in Atlanta.
Oh,
what was the other one's name?
But
the Black
Carmichael.
Panthers.
I mean, there's a whole all those guys are wearing a little bow tie and a huge afro, and now he's talking like that Jesse Jackson and Reverend Martin Luther King of the kind. And I'm going, oh my God! I mean, it's hysterical. Anyway, and given that now again, this became a huge, as though this is some national story. I don't give a crap about those guys. If they have a gun control problem, they work, do a thing or whatever.
It's Tennessee's
problem.
It's
Tennessee. I don't give a crap about that, but it's a major, the white Republicans shouting down the Democrat, another game. They look for anything to take the onus off of what's going on in the world. Okay, how about this? And by the way, they were basically calling that an insurrection, revolt, where this is overthrowing our elected representatives and so forth. Well,
it boils down to we broke the rules, but you can't do anything to us because we're black.
Right. Well, how about this? In Arizona, a member of the House of Representatives, who happened to be a Republican, has now been expelled after a bipartisan vote to kick her out because of testimony that was going to happen at a committee hearing on the election integrity in Arizona. What happened is a state representative, Liz Harris, a Republican, invited a woman named Jacqueline Brieger to the hearing. Jacqueline Brieger was going to testify that she believed Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs and other politicians were taking bribes from a Mexican drug cartel. Remember that charge?
Yeah.
This woman was going to testify at the hearing on election integrity that she thought the election was not on the up and up because the governor members were on the take from the drug cartels. So somebody in the state house and the Democrats filed a complaint that she personally invited this woman to bring disrepute and embarrassment to the House of Representatives and impugn other members in violation of House rules. So they kicked her out. They kicked out the Republican who wanted to bring someone who was going to testify at the House hearing about how that she believed to be corrupt in a hearing about whether they were corrupt.
Criticizing a Democrat.
Oh, my God. She said, I stand on honesty and integrity. The report is a lie about the reaction. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, that's not an insurrection. That's not the liberal Democrats kicking out a white Republican who wanted to, shine some light on. I'm telling you. Anyway, coming up, Pete, want to see my boobs?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was quick.
Plus, so you killed a bunch of people. You've served enough time. Get out of here. You're killing me. But first, swap my whip, baby. SwapMyWhip.com. Whip, of course, being a colloquial phrase for a ride or a car. Could be a ride of a different kind. SwapMyWhip.com is the place you go to find perhaps a like-minded car owner like yourself. If you've been driving along and you see a car you've always wanted to say, man, I really have that car. Don't know what da-da-da-da-da. SwapMyWhip.com is where you may very well find a like-minded car owner who thinks just like you do, who's looking to swap his car or her, or maybe has you make a contact and he didn't want yours, but he's got a friend who does, and you got a thing with the thing. Whatever, you make your own deal. No middleman, no salespeople, no dealerships, nobody to mess around with. And it says SwapMyWhip.com, and it's not just cars, obviously trucks or SUVs, boats, jet skis. Off-road vehicles, go-karts, probably electric bicycles or whatever you're thinking of, any of that kind of stuff. SwapMyWhip.com. And if you use the coupon code KIMMER, Kimmer, it's 180 days of free premium listings on SwapMyWhip.com. So there you are. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, Kitty, are you in there? No, thank God. I thought I crushed him. Let's see. Everything all right, boys? You're looking very worried over there.
Keep talking.
Okay. Now, for a couple of minutes, we have a weird theme today. There's going actually through the whole country recently. This constant theme that everything is freaking sex and gender, and particularly switching gender. Bud Light, with this campaign that's going on, has lost $5 billion. which is a drop in the bucket. They don't care.
Yeah, it went from 152 to 148 billion.
But still, I mean, that's the state of how ridiculous this is, that they would be willing to ruin. I mean, even $5 billion is nothing. Well, who cares?
They're so enamored with the woke. They're so afraid of the woke wave that they'll even do stupid things like this.
And by the way, did you see the chick? We had their soundbite with her. She talked like a valley girl. Well, we wanted to have the equity and all the people. I mean, my God, it was all fratty. And so that girl, they had pictures of her on TV last night back when she was at Dartmouth, I think it was. Or no, Harvard. She was at Harvard. One of the pictures was her with a big beer bong, or being all drunk and shit, which is
okay.
No, wait, don't. We agree on this. We agree on this. And the second one was she's blowing up a huge condom. Okay, so and Tucker made the exact point. He said, "So what? Of course, no kidding. Who did? I mean,
College.
What's the big deal?
Yeah, what's the big deal?
I mean, but again, it was just to show.
Who's posting that?
It was some friend of her. Somebody from Harvard said, "Oh yeah, I got a picture of her from this party back 10 years ago."
Well, okay, that's funny. It's funny to laugh at, but it means nothing about what she did.
Right, but that's
adult.
the point. But the other thing, talk about hypocrisy. I mean, it's not like that she lived the life, and so it's. I mean, it's just the whole thing is just silly. I mean, it's just you have to find something.
She accused people of being fratty. And what the hell is she doing? That's complete sorority fratty stuff that she was doing.
Yeah. Well, all right. We're not quite done with that now because. Did you get my little sing along song? The sing along song. If you're happy, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know what, clap your hands.
I did not get that.
Well, I texted you boys both that thing.
I didn't get that.
That's okay. I'll give you a second to look for it. I sent you a picture of the lyrics. Anyway, I thought it was pretty ironic. You didn't get it?
I didn't get it.
Can't find it? I'll be damned. Well, I'll do it myself. Adam Forster sent this to us, by the way, and I thought it was funny. We got a few stories in a row here that are all of a sudden
the transgender song.
Yeah, the transgender song.
So what are we supposed to do? Sing it together?
Sing along together, yeah, if we want to. And again, I sent you sound. Did you get the sound I sent along, Founder?
Yeah, there's one via email you sent, and the other
and the other was a message. Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, but this really amazes me, despite the fact I thought had been turning around recently about people getting fed up with all this gender stuff. That we've been complaining a lot about this recently. I mean, yes. and still, it's getting worse and worse. And they're not backing down. It's like they're doubling down on it.
They're getting violent.
Yeah. I mean, again, shooting, tranny killing little children because of, afraid that they're targeted. I mean, again, it's just, but even the fact that it's a topic. How is it? I mean, I'm an old fart, so I can't think about if I was 20 and someone had said, well, the transsexual population is very upset about the white supremacists targeting them to eliminate them from the. I'm going, well, wait a minute. The who now? The what? The where? What are you even talking about? I mean, this is all just, they're making it up. It's the whole thing that it wasn't a thing. Anyway, but again, it's all everywhere.
Kimmer, once a week in my neighborhood in the mountains of Macon, we get together on like it's late Monday night, and we chase trannies through the street.
I was going to say, it's like whipping the Haitians. I used to get on Jack the Good Boy, whip those trannies, baby, because they're all everywhere. They're all over the place.
You can't shake a dead dildo without hitting one of them.
Churches. They have tranny churches. They have tranny buildings. They have tranny police departments. It's unbelievable. Tranny neighborhoods. Trannies are not get out. I mean, it's unbelievable. They're everywhere. Anyway,
we're lousy with them.
We coming out of my head.
Right,
so here we go. Now to the tune of "If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands." You ready?
All right.
If a person has a penis, he's a man. If a person has a penis, he's a man. If he doesn't want to lose it, even though he doesn't use it. If a person has a penis, he's a man. If a person has a nutsack, he's a man. If a person has a nutsack, he's a man. Let it dangle and reveal it.
You skipped a line.
Oh, he can tuck it and conceal it. Let it dangle and reveal it. If a person has a nutsack, he's a man. If he amputates his bits, he's still a man. If he grows a pair of tits, he's still a man. If the chromosome's a Y, he will always be a guy. If he isn't born a woman, he's a man. Oh, my God. I love it. Now, just for the fun of it.
Plumbing new depths.
Well, again, how can we get Mr. Rogers founder? Did you find that soundbite okay? Again, I don't know the exact year, but again, think about this. Think about what you're about to hear.
Which I sent to you 3 weeks ago and you ignored. So now all of a sudden you
like... I don't remember you sending that to me. I would have used it. Why didn't you make a note of you? You're the producer. Anyway, no, whatever. Everything's fine. Okay, so now, probably if you went to anybody who talks about family values and happy, sweet goodness and getting along with people, Mr. Rogers is probably the least offensive person you could ever think of, other than just a sweet man who just cares about people.
Hell of a better gambler, but
he was a Marine sniper, but other than that, he's a killer, cold-blooded killer. But really, I mean, he was one of the sweetest, nicest, a man you would respect. You'd love to have him in your house talking to your kids. He would babysit your children for you. Okay, here's Mr. Rogers telling little boys and girls what they should know for the rest of their.
And he did it on Johnny Carson too.
What they should know for the rest of their lives.
Boys from the beginning. If you were born a boy, you stay a boy. Girls are girls right from the start. If you were born a girl, you stay a girl and grow up to be a lady. Everybody's fancy, everybody's fine. Your body's fancy, and so is mine. Only girls can be the mommies. Only boys can be the daddies. Yes, sir. Boys are boys from the beginning.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Amazing.
What happened from then to now? If he was alive and tried to do that on television, they'd kill him.
Jordan Peterson, you know who Jordan Peterson is, right? He was on Rogan or somebody. And I think it was Rogan. He was talking about he's friends with guy who used to be the number one expert in North America about transgenderism. Yeah. About 20 years ago. He's out of Toronto, something like that.
Canadian, right?
Yeah, he's Canadian. Yeah. And he's talking, this guy is the preeminent psychologist, whatever they call him.
Respected, renowned.
And he basically said 20 years ago that we're always going to have feminine boys and masculine girls.
Yeah.
But and they'll always feel a little dysmorphic and not happy with their bodies when they're like 10, 11, 12 years old, and they need help. You need to talk to them. You need stuff like that. Yeah. He goes, but if you leave them alone, by age 17 or 18, they pretty much come to terms with their body, and 80% of them are gay. And Peterson's pointing out, but we don't do that anymore. Now we tell them they need to start changing as children immediately. What they're doing is they're eradicating a gay population. And he goes, I can't see the LGB being aligned with the plus ones for long, because the plus ones are trying to get rid of the LBGs.
They have no conception of what that means. They think they're doing such a good thing by changing these children so they don't have to suffer the abuse of knowing there's somebody else.
So they won't be gay anymore. They'll allegedly be a woman or a guy.
Talk about genocide. I mean, they've got it backwards, basically. They want to have trannies so that they want to kill all the gay people so they can have trannies so the trannies are then respected as the other alternative or something.
And then you have Harry Potter coming out and saying, you should let kids do this to themselves. You should let them mutilate themselves. Who are we to stop them? Well, I tell you who you are. You're the fucking adults.
Who said that? The actor?
Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter. Yeah. Comes out and says that children should be able to decide.
Oh, my God.
These are the same people that run out in the street chasing a ball that are going to decide to cut off their penis or strap or cut off their breast.
They won't spank their kids, but they'll let you cut your breasts off if you're an 11-year-old girl and you feel like a boy.
It's insanity.
Jesus.
It's the adult. It's not the kids. It's the adults doing it. We have always had feminine boys and masculine girls, tomboys, whatever you want to call it, and most of them grow up to be gay.
Yeah. Although a lot of, I when I was playing golf younger, I was involved there. Go to places where a lot of women golfers out there who are very athletic and stuff, but they were. You can't, just because she's athletic doesn't mean, it's just
Cheryl
a thing.
Ladd's a woman.
Yeah, and she's a
she
great
likes
golfer.
guys.
Yeah, I know.
But she's
Stupid. But again, I don't know what happened between the Mr. Rogers of then and
media.
now. They would literally kill him. They would if he went on TV and had a show and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I think we need to remember how important this is. A boy is always a boy." And they go, bam, bam, bam. They would assassinate.
What we have to remember is we're still the majority. The people with common sense are still majority. But because the media keeps telling you you're not,
I know,
and they
right.
gang up on you and they attack you and they make you back down because they're going to kill your job or whatever, and you back down, and it makes them seem like they're the ones in power.
Yeah. I remember one of the great memes I put on Facebook or on Rumble and our whatever was a picture of 4 or 5 children, like 8, 9-year-old children, in different kind of costume dresses and different colors and so forth. And it said, "If you want to end racism in America, stop calling them racists." Or a picture of a little Japanese girl who's 7 years old, and then a white kid or something or other said, "Well, if you want to blame that kid for slavery, you can't do that any more than you can blame her for Hiroshima or from Pearl Harbor." I mean, it's just I got a little backwards right there. Well, I got the name. I got one of the names. There were 2 big names involved with that story. One of them was right.
It ended well.
Well, I got one of them. Hey, that's 50-50. That's pretty good for me.
Well, for some of
anyway,
us.
and now speaking, of course, the left is going to have fun coming out with stuff like this because of the Budweiser Bud Light beer thing. They've lost $5 billion, and they're going to lose some more. But again, I guess they're good. Well,
it was funny though. Joe Rogan drank one on his podcast the other night and was like, "Who cares?"
Yeah. Well, it's also weasel pee, so basically.
It's
but,
like I said last, it's lake beer.
Yeah.
You put it in the cooler at the lake. I mean, it's...
Yeah. But
pour it in the lake.
But somebody from Budweiser just got out, was just quoted this morning as I was coming in. I didn't see the whole story. And it was that the top executive said, "This was never cleared. This was not our idea. This was a terrible idea."
She said she had a clear mandate to do this.
But what does that mean?
That means she was told, do whatever it can to get young people to drink our stupid beer again.
There's somebody above the old clear mandate level who says, "Oh my God, what a dumb move this was."
But if they fire her, what do you think happens?
Well, I know. Oh, they can't fire her. She was doing her best
She'll
to try
sue
to
the hell out of them.
They won't fire her. She thought she was doing the right thing. She's
doing her job.
She's an inclusive, equity person. So that's what they do. And so the liberals are having some fun. They've come out with a meme with a picture of the a cereal box Lucky Charms,
magically delicious,
with a unicorn and a leprechaun on it, and it says, "Gee, can't wait until Kid Rock shoots up a few dozen boxes of magical unicorn Lucky Charms with a rainbow on the box." Excuse me, and Gesundheit for you. If the decorations on the outside of the watered-down light beer triggers MAGAs, they must go absolutely insane when a Lucky Charms cereal commercial comes on TV. Hey, betting Joe Biden's lineage traces back the Liar Liar Pants on Fire clan, the ones that posed as little leprechauns to sniff little girls' Lucky Charms. If you say Lucky Charms, you're probably eating pure sugar and grease, you butter-gobbling sad sack of shit. Anyway, sorry, you could probably edit that part out. but again, just got to have yourself some fun. One more little thing of fun. Should we do one more little thing for fun for a second? Did you get the message thing I sent from Barry? Yeah. This is some guy, and again, this is the difference in the change in wokeness in comedy. You couldn't even do this silly little phone. It's a 20-second little silly phone bit, and you probably couldn't get away with that these days, at least not in big public gatherings. Yeah. Anyway, this is I don't even know this guy's name, but here's an example of stuff you could never even get away with, and I think it's a very funny bit. Gail, there you go. Right here we go.
A white person might sound something like this.
Hello, please leave a message after the tone.
Let's say you call a Mexican person, might sound something like this. If you call a black person, might sound something like this.
So you laugh and you can't help it. It's funny. I mean, it's not racist. It's racial, but it's funny. I mean, it's
and every black person in there was laughing.
I guarantee you that. Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle is one of my favorite comedians. Or used to be when he did his stuff. His Dave Chappelle show. The race auction. I mean, I bid. The Chinese won Tiger Woods. We bid for Tiger Woods' identity. I mean, it's just hysterical. And again, but the woke people are going freaking nuts. Have you heard about the latest NPR thing? And our friend, correspondent Mike Hunt at the Babylon Bee has something to say as well. National Public Radio is denying slanderous accusations that they are national and public. Apparently what happened was, let me get the actual story here from the National Public Radio. They have quit Twitter.
Yay.
The social media platform owned by Elon Musk stamped NPR's main account with labels the news organization says are meant to undermine its credibility. Its label is that NPR's organization accounts will no longer be active on Twitter. They're taking actions to undermine our credit, falsely implying that we are not editorially independent. You aren't editorially independent. You're getting tagged. They only get a small portion of their money from taxes, but still they are a tax-subsidized, government-funded operation, and they are all liberal. It's just screaming the leftists supporting the administration. You don't have a common point of view for all sides. You're not identified that way. So here, I mean, duh. But here's how National Public Radio is vehemently denying that they are either national or public. This false, libelous, scandalous, sickening, spurious claim about NPR is a shameful misrepresentation of the facts spread by Nazi white supremacists like Elon Musk, said their president.
Nazis.
Just because we're funded by the state and dedicate every editorial decision to supporting the ever-growing intrusion of state power on public and private life until all freedom is driven out of the hearts of mankind for all eternity doesn't mean we are some kind of state-supported media company. That's ridiculous. Experts at the state-supported NPR confirm they're completely independent and totally real news. They say it's only minimally supported by the government, with the rest of the support coming from 80-year-old communists buying overpriced tote bags in exchange for a tax break. We urge all listeners to support us as a reliable, nonpartisan, not at all government-funded source for news about how the government can solve all your problems. At publishing time, NPR leadership admitted some government involvement in their programming, but it was just the Chinese government. So, by the way, speaking of that, in the wake of Elon Musk taking over Twitter, leftists are reporting a disturbing rise in the number of people they hate being allowed to use speech. Ever since Elon took over, I see more and more people saying things I don't like, and I hate them, said BBB reporter and Twitter user James Clayton. Well, God, just the other day, I saw an opinion I hated, voiced by a person I hated. I can't remember what it was, except that I really, really hated it. Why can't the government do something about this? And, by the way, for the record, the movie Little Mermaid, they're doing a remake. And there's now a romantic scene in the remake of The Little Mermaid where Ariel, the girl, has signing a 35-page consent form before kissing this guy named Eric. Oh, by the way, speaking of misinterpreting things, President showers with daughter said he wanted to thank that handsome, good-looking fella, Rapinoe, something or other, for his support of trans inclusion in women's sports. Which I thought was what's her name, Rapinoe?
By the way.
Yes.
Eddie.
Yeah.
So you get an air fryer and you cook it in the first night.
Yeah.
I send you a camera, and 2 years later, it's still not in your car.
I've got to find a day when I don't even. The problem, you can leave it the whole day, so I take it to Best Buy and leave it for a day. Then what am I going to do? Run around in a freaking Uber? But I've got to. I'll do. I swear, I can't. I really am excited about doing it, and I just haven't done it. So I will. Plus, I figured you were probably going to come and take it away from me anyway. At some point, they're going to come and haul it off of my thing, whatever. Did I mention if you go to thekimmershow.net, we have PayPal, Patreon, Venmo, I don't know what happened. Oh, here's
I dropped it on the floor
there.
But we have some people saying that Rumble's notifying them when the show starts, but YouTube's getting a little slack about telling them when the show's starting.
Well,
I didn't even know they told people the show was starting. So
Excuse me.
Apparently, the YouTube notification didn't go off, so I guess that's why it's kind of a late start for some people.
It's weird.
Well, that sounds good.
Well, we have top men working on it as we talk.
Yes. Oh, by the way, speaking of the insurrection, I forgot to mention Diane from California, Senator Diane Finkelstein, who faked that whole,
Who's been chewing on this?
I don't know. It looks like cat marks, teeth marks.
I think it may have gotten thrown.
Thrown at the cat.
There's little teeth marks on it.
No, I think I threw it and it hit the ground and cracked that side. That or Lucas was biting on it.
Lucas was biting.
Because he'll nibble on stuff every now and then.
Diane Feinfinkel-Cheatstein has now agreed to step away from her committee assignments while she recovers from the latest. She's been mentally incompetent for months, years, but she won't resign from the Senate. And what about Federlump? What about the Pennsylvania? I mean, this is still, it's unbelievable. And you don't think that's an issue for
people of Pennsylvania? You literally have half representation. You're only half represented in the Senate.
I know. By the way, I couldn't help but just be absolutely freaking thrilled about the shocking news. Atlanta didn't get the Democrat National Convention. Oh no! We're trying to find Atlanta's shining moment. Remember that when Mayor Andre Dinkelberry says, "Oh, we're going to get the DNC. We're going to get the DNC. We have months now. We know we're going to get the DNC." And so that one of those little femgal, furry-legged, hyphenated, feminated femgal writers at the Al Jazeera Constitution says, "Well, it's your loss, DNC, and the nation won't see all the things that Georgia has to offer." Like crime, racism, incompetence.
How could they bring that here when they won't let us have an all-star game since we're all a bunch of racists? But think how stupid this is to the Democrats.
Yeah.
Chicago, Illinois is about as Democrat as it's going to get. Yeah. It's never, they've got to put a Republican governor every now and then just to see him, impeached for crime, go to jail. But that's as deep Democrat as it's going to get.
Yeah.
They're not going to gain one vote by doing that.
Right.
Coming to Atlanta, a purple state, Georgia, a purple state, they had a chance to totally carry Georgia if it became a success, that convention did, and all the money it would bring in. How short-sighted is that?
Dana Perino on the 5 the other day made the exact point that we've been making for some time. She said, in fact, you tell me to shut up every time I make it. Dana Perino said about the DNC thing, she said, take a look at the state of Georgia. It's because, they elected 2 liberal Democrat senators. She said, whoever would have thought that would have happened to be responsible for all that's happening now? And the reason they didn't go to, she said, I find it amazing they didn't go to Georgia with Georgia elected 2 Democrat senators, which you were just making your point. And they said, but of course, the White House also stiffed the city of Atlanta from having the All-Star game because of the Jim Crow racism stuff, making the exact point. Again, these people are unbelievable. And honestly, I wish they had come here. And again, Chicago, the crime capital of the world, got them because of money. They outbid. You had to bid to get the convention, and Chicago outbid. And their new mayor is an anti-police guy. He's a defund the police guy.
In the schools? He's basically taking away the honors classes, and he doesn't want to have kids have grades in school.
Grading is bad. No, if you
God,
you'll be fine.
If you're a black family or black parent in Chicago, and you realize, what are these idiots going to do to my kids? They're going to produce morons.
What happened to achievement? And how do you have to grade it? You have to, if you're achieving, you have to find out by repeating the knowledge.
But that's socialism. You drag everybody down to a low level. Nobody can get above that.
I don't get it. I don't understand any of this stuff. A couple things I don't understand. The Juul, not cigarette. What do you call them? Electronic cigarette people. Juul, Juul. They got fined and will pay almost $500 million, $460 million to several states because they sold and marketed their addictive nicotine product, vaping stuff, to children to, lure the kids to getting to start smoking before they should. And $500 million fine with me. And I got to think, I'm thinking I want to start smoking again. I'm thinking about taking that pack of Luckies and smoking all 20 of them right here, just one after another.
Not in
and
here.
getting rid of it. Put it on a selfie timer or something. Anyway, so they're paying up, which is fine.
If you did them all at once, it'd kill you.
Oh, you probably would kill you. Well, in fact, when I was an anti-smoker, I did a couple of specials on television on smoking things for a long time ago. But whatever, and I remember that one of the facts was if you were to take the nicotine in a pack of cigarettes, if you take all the nicotine in one little drop or whatever thing, and put it on a horse's tongue, he would drop dead. It would stop your heart. I'm just saying. Either way, don't smoke. And again, I wish if I could smoke 6 cigarettes a day, I would.
Kim's Dubious Facts. Brought to you by FarmhousePrintingCo.com.
Oh, what's new about that?
That's right. In fact, we have a T-shirt that says Kim's Dubious Facts. Custom shirts and hats and signs. They got laser engraving. Eric and the gang down there in Sonoya, Georgia, they do all our printing. Shannon Burke's printing. Everything. Holy Crap with Sports. Anything you need, they have it at FarmhousePrintingCo.com. Any business cards you need, any placards, slogans, anything, they can get it printed up for you. They're the best. FarmhousePrintingCo.com.
They did our podcast blanket. They did my golf towel for my son-in-law, and Jennifer's T-shirts, and they do this quality work. Really great pictures. Let's see. Oh, I'm speaking of Dana Perino about Georgia. The Senate now, again, they are not leaving Trump alone. Do you know Trump is now in New York again, being investigated and deposed as part of the lawsuit against him for his business stuff? I mean, he was just there for the other. I mean, the one after another. Also, the Senate now, thanks to Georgia, is voting on a resolution to condemn Donald Trump when he said we needed to defund the Justice Department and the FBI. And because of that, suspected child molester Chuck Schumer sent a letter to his colleagues saying we need to condemn Donald Trump with a vote in the Senate. And of course, if the 2 Georgia senators had been Republicans, none of any of this stuff would ever have gone forward. Elections have consequences, all right, and we really blew it in Georgia. A couple things. The Dalai Lama. This Tibetan spiritually. Did you see the video?
I can't watch it.
Oh my God! He
so
brings the little boy closer and closer and closer with his tongue. I need to walk.
Now,
kissing
maybe
a little,
it means something different in their culture.
Well, but that's not the thing. A little kissing a boy on the lip with.
Did he actually kiss him?
He taught you the touching with the touching. The Dalai is 87. He has now apologized and regretted the incident to his friends across the world for the hurt it may have caused. He was at a public gathering at Chinggang Temple in Dramata, India, where he lives. And of course, he's a 12th son of the Lama. He's striking. He's flowing robes. Big hitter, the Lama. He's trying to stiff me. I said, "Hey, Lama, how about something? For the effort." He said, "Oh, there'll be no cash, but on your deathbed, you will receive total consciousness." So I got that going for me, which is nice. Come on, chop, chop, son. Let's get in the round before the rain starts. Yes, sir, your magnificence. Sorry. Well, people know I wrote that whole part of that script.
I know.
And people didn't know that. So I kind of reminisce in it once in a while.
Well, the scary thing to me is now Biden's going to have to one-up the llama. Because the hair sniffing just ain't going to cut it anymore.
Let's see. I want to ask, but then I want to talk about a thing. Well, no, let me do this first. I'm going to ask you a question about baseball. Okay.
Well, it's a sport that has a bat and a ball.
That's not important right now. Let's say you're talking about baseball.
Talking about baseball. I do that. I'm at home, and I hear somebody on the radio or TV say, "Let's say," and I sit there and do it.
I've ruined you for others. Okay. Anne Frank... as you know, Diary of Anne Frank's famous book, there are a couple different versions of it. One of them is a little more graphic than the other.
It's what, a comedy?
Well, no. The Diary of Anne Frank, based on her being, caught, hiding and then caught by the Nazis. Anne Frank's diary, the graphic adaptation, has been taken out of the library at Vero Beach High School in Florida after Moms for Liberty raised an objection. The principal agreed, and they took the book out of the library in school. One of the things that happened in the book is that Anne Frank, and again, she was a teenage girl and so forth, hiding in the attic or the basement, or whatever. And at one point, she was talking with a girlfriend, walking in a park, and Anne Frank was enchanted by the female nude statues, and she turned to her little girlfriend and said, "Should we show each other our breasts?" And she said, if I'm quite serious, everyone thinks it's a comedy. I have to go out and be turning into a joke. Talks about growing into self-consciousness of her body. I twist my heart around again. The bad is on the outside, the good's on the inside. I'm guided by the pure and within, but outside I'm nothing but a frolicsome little goat who's broken loose. Let's see. There was one part where she wanted to expose herself. She also... had some possibility she had almost a loving relationship with an older boy from one of the other families, and she said most wondrous was her love affair. She said, her first love, I give myself completely, but one thing, he may touch my face, but no more.
She's a human
right.
being.
She's a little girl talking about what little girls go through in the light of being hunted by the Nazis, and they eventually got her a Belgian person or whatever and killed her. But again, why are people? If this isn't so real, and I don't. Again,
No, there's maybe a certain age you wait before you.
Well,
what gets me? They're the what? They're the mothers what?
Oh, mothers of...
Mothers for Liberty?
Yeah, something like that.
That's very close to MILF.
Well, let me get the name of it.
Mothers for Liberty.
Moms for Liberty. M-I-L. Yeah, all right. Moms Liberty and MILF.
I bet some of them are.
Yeah, I'll guarantee you they are. Anyway. All right, now, I have a totally different thing here. Let me get rid of this thing. All right, let me ask you this and see if you think this is a good idea. And I'm not sure I have a thing with a thing here about this. Major League Baseball. And by the way, Braves pulled it out.
They're winning with a third of their roster.
Yeah.
The two best pitchers gone. Maybe in the third with Soroka still not back. So listen, all these players. Arcia got hurt last night. Thank God it's not a broken wrist,
man,
but he'll probably miss a few. That's
Lord.
just pure luck right
there.
there.
He's our guy now.
He's a hell of a shortstop, and I said it all along. I had no problem with him playing shortstop.
Yeah, he'll be fine. And again, we lost our star pitcher, Lou Gehrig's arm thing. What do you call it? The shoulder.
Well, Ian Anderson hasn't been a star for a couple of years.
But he's gone for a whole year.
That's depth.
Yeah.
So so you really need Soroka to come around and he's pitching well.
Yeah.
Knock on wood down there. But Michael Harris hasn't played in over a week.
Right. Well, they're thinking about bringing him in now
back for San Diego.
Yeah.
He can come back. Even though the Hilliard guy, as soon as I crapped on another day, he's just been doing nothing but double after double after double. So I can't say anything. But they're 9-4. They're winning despite the fact that they're hurt.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
That's
a real good sign.
And look, you should beat up on the Reds, even though you're just beating them by one. But you're going to lose series to a team like the Padres if you're not close to 100%.
Yeah.
Because they're good.
Yeah. Well, in Major League Baseball now, tell me what you think about this. Because of the time clock, the games are shorter. So 4 teams, and more to come, Arizona Cardinals, Texas Rangers, Minnesota Twins, Milwaukee Brewers, have said because the games are shorter, we're going to extend the innings where you can still buy beer. So instead of cutting the beer off at the 7th or 6th or 7th inning, we're now going to allow you to buy beer into the 8th inning this year. Since the games are shorter, you have to adjust. Some places, Baltimore sells into almost the bottom of the 8th or through into the 9th inning, I guess. Average game time down to half an hour. Major League Baseball does not regulate what teams sell alcohol. It's all the teams. But let me ask you this. If you're at a baseball game and it's in the 7th inning and you've had your last beer with 2 more full, slow innings to go, it's going to be 30 minutes anyway before you get in your car.
It's not going to make a hell of a difference.
If you're but philosophically, you're saying, well, these people are not going to have their last beer and get in the car in 4 minutes. But if you start serving stuff in the 8th inning and then they go to their car, 9 minutes later, my God, isn't that counterproductive to drunk driving?
It's down. The legal limit is down so far everywhere now. You can stop drinking in the 4th inning. You're still going to be over the limit.
I guess.
It depends on how many.
And I
you
remember
drank.
when I lived a couple years in New Orleans, they had drive-through margarita stands.
Oh,
Drive-through
daiquiri stand
on the way home.
Hell, there was a drive-through liquor store in Aberdeen.
I'll take a margarita while I'm driving.
Well, no, the thing is
Aberdeen, Mississippi has a drive-through liquor store.
Yeah,
when the COVID shutdown happened, restaurants would let you take alcoholic beverages to go.
Well,
Let you walk around.
Our liquor store in
I still
Alpharetta,
to the-
they were all drive-through during the China kill virus.
There's a Mexican place down Roswell Road that still has a billboard out that says you can take drinks out.
I love it. Anyway, I thought to me that was kind of or silly or reckless or nobody cares. I don't care. I mean, hell, do whatever you want. Honestly, I swear to God, I really don't care.
It's awful white of you.
Well, no, I'm sure. If you're a drinker, I'm a terrible drinker. If I drink, if we were sitting here and we weren't doing anything for a couple hours, and for some reason Flounder made a pitcher of margaritas, if I had 2 margaritas, I'd be done. I would say, well, boy, this is really feeling great, boys, and I'd be fine. I shouldn't drink anymore. Shouldn't be driving and stuff like that. So I'm not a good drinker. I don't hold my liquor well. Last time I had tequila, I remember going to the parking lot and taking the paint job off a car. So sorry, Mister. I'm just not.
You did a bush.
I'm not good. A couple things. I don't want to overdo things. And you got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about here, including.
I have.
We'll start right now.
Basically, I have, which you two didn't know I did, but I got a outside company to monitor our YouTube and Rumble and write down some commentary.
Are we being graded?
About the show. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to read some of their comments. It's a performance evaluation. And we're trying to figure out which one of us they're talking about.
Well, that sounds fairly amusing.
All right, you ready?
Well, yeah. I got a couple of non-funny stories I was going to get to, but we don't even have to do them. But I thought, let me do this. This amazed me. This one story here. And again, I can't wait to get to your Calabanga. Hold on. Here we go. Right here. Here we go. All right. Let's say you're driving by a cow pasture. Well, that's not what I meant. Okay. Every time, if you've driven by a farm or whatever, and you drive along and you see cows out in the pasture, just off the top of your head, how many cows would you say you have ever really seen at one time driving along in a car in a pasture?
Kimmer.
10, 7,
I see
12?
1,000 every time I drive down here.
Well, you had a little bit, sorry. But again, if you're driving along and you see cows and stuff, even a whole herd and stuff. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, in Texas, there was a cattle ranch. And let me find out exactly where it was. Castro County, I'm not sure where, in the Texas Panhandle. And there was a holding...
That is God's armpit.
Yeah. The Panhandle of
Amarillo.
Texas. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah,
it's horrible.
It's still like 1875, I think, with bandits and armadillos and tumbleweeds. Anyway, so in the Texas Panhandle, there was a holding pen where cows are brought in to get milked in a South Fork dairy farm. Apparently, there was some kind of an explosion caused by what they describe as a honey badger, which is when a vacuum that sucks the manure and water out possibly got from the big holding pen, possibly got overheated, and probably the methane gas ignited and spread and exploded the holding pen. 18,000 cows were blown up. Can you imagine 18,000 butchered, exploding cow carcasses?
It's a lot of meat.
Holy criminy! 18,000. Yowie. Anyway, also California's done it again.
What have they done?
California, let's see here. That's not it. Hold on a second. I got it right here. If I could only find it. Arizona, here we go. California. California now is voting on a bill that would allow murderers, serial rapists to walk out of prison, co-authored by 2 state senators who also wrote a bill that would decrease the punishment for deliberately infecting somebody with AIDS. Yeah. They thought if you got caught infecting somebody with AIDS, you really shouldn't be that punished. You just wanted to have sex, so you really should not.
Yeah, what's the problem?
But what's the big deal? Well, the new bill by these same 2 guys would allow the state's worst killers and rapists to go free no matter what they did if they've served 20 years. If you've served 20 years, the bill would authorize the court to modify the sentence to a lesser charge. And of course, people are saying, wait, this is a slap in the face to the victims who are told they'd be going away for life sentence. Is now if you can make it to 20 years, you get to go free? California. Anyway.
By the way, get back to your cow story.
Yeah.
Your question was, how many cows have you seen driving? And Blaine says, I've never seen a cow driving.
I should have known. The grammar and syntax police would be monitoring the program.
And on a side note, as I was driving, I was listening to 680, Chris and Nick doing their show, and Chris did that story about the methane thing blowing up and 18,000 cows. And we were talking about whether they could save any of the meat from it. And it reminded me, when we were kids, standing at my grandparents' dairy farm, every now and then a cow would get out of the fence and get hit by a truck or something on the highway.
Yeah.
And my grandfather would get a call in the middle of the night, oh, old Bessie's been hit over here. And he would call the butcher, and he and the butcher would meet. They'd get the cow and take it in, and he'd cut it up right then and there.
I can see that.
And we'd eat like kings.
I'll bet. I'll bet.
He never figured out that we were cutting the holes in the fence there.
Well, do you think any of that is salvageable?
Oh, yeah. It depends how quick. Oh, no, this methane
thing?
thing? Probably not.
No.
But what you're talking about,
well, why can't if you get there quick enough? It's not roadkill. It's fresh. It just got hit. And they have to call the police and say something's been hit here.
So how long do they have? Like, is it like 24 hours before it goes?
Well, they hang meat up for a month.
Yeah.
But it's in a temperature controlled room.
Oh yeah, that's why they immediately have to go get it.
That's what I was
at
like.
night.
So that has to be within 24 hours.
Well, see, this was back in the 60s and 70s, so there was a lot more lax back then.
Well, people also used to have in that time
5-second rule,
and
5-minute rule.
Smokehouse in the back. They used to hang their own meat.
People had, partly because they were afraid of having a war with the Russians and being exploded, had huge freezers in their garages or someplace to store, sides of beef, for crying out loud, back in the 40s and 50s. It was the same
reason for them, but they were afraid with a war with Alabama.
Yeah,
so.
Well, there you go. Same thing, basically, really. Carolyn and Andrew Clark in Caledonia, Michigan, have held a gender reveal party, and they were not expecting any kind of surprises because for 138 years, only boys in every side of the family. No girls, 138 years until now. Finally, a girl after 138 years. Congratulations. And I didn't know, it's kind of sad, I didn't know about this, but I'll pass it along. Little Audrey has been born. And she was born after the mom had suffered a miscarriage, which makes Audrey what they call a rainbow baby. Have you heard about that? It's a rainbow baby, is a baby born after a loss due to a miscarriage or infant death or stillbirth and so forth. And another baby born afterwards is a miracle baby called a rainbow baby. So God bless her, little Audrey, the first girl in that family in 138 years of any of them. Of any of the brothers and sisters, nobody had a girl for 138 years. The family tree is all boys. I mean, that's unbelievable. Anyway, I have a Dear Abby thing, and I want to hear your. I want to do your thing. That
yeah, Cindy's actually demanding that we do these.
Oh, well, then do it right now.
All right. Once again, the performance evaluation.
I got a hold of YouTube. They've been monitoring on YouTube, watching our performance, grading our podcast.
And they sent some comments.
Well, here we go.
Some of them rather candid.
Now, we don't know who these are, but just raw comments to see who might be.
We'll try and figure out which one they're talking about.
Yeah, all right.
This employee has reached rock bottom and has started to dig.
Well, I know that's me. What are you talking about?
You think that's you?
Yeah.
So we're going to vote for him? Okay. His men would follow him anywhere, but only out of morbid curiosity. It's got to be you.
Got to be Kimmer.
That's me.
I would not allow this employee to breed.
Well, no, it's all unfair. It's all about
me.
You? Why would it be you?
No, you've never done anything bad to anybody.
I think it's me.
Because
you've already bred. As far as I know, in this country, I have not.
Did you say bread or breed?
Breed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say that again. I totally missed it.
Breed.
This person would not be able. You would not want this person to breed.
Right.
Oh, well, that's you. Yeah, that's
Oh, thanks. This associate is really not so much as a has-been, but more of a definitely won't be.
Or never was.
That would be me.
It might be you, the way it was done, yeah. Works well when under constant supervision and cornered like a rat in a trap.
Probably me.
That's probably you, too. And a little me. When he opens his mouth, it seems that this is only to change whichever foot was previously in there.
Thank you. Appreciate it, you bastard.
He would be out of his depth in a parking lot puddle.
That's cold.
This young man has delusions of adequacy.
That'd be me.
That'd probably be you. You're
Mediocrity.
the only young one left. He sets low personal standards and then consistently fails to achieve them.
I could go for all of us.
All of us.
Pretty much.
This employee is depriving a village somewhere of an idiot.
Village idiot.
That would be me.
And finally, this employee should go far, and the sooner he starts, the better.
Yes. I think we've got our new advertising campaign for the Kimmer Show
Everybody's
podcast.
saying, Scotty says it's you that they're talking about.
I don't have any idea whatsoever. Did you hear there was a train wreck in Conyers? We just after
What?
talking, I can't believe this stuff still
Isn't
happens.
that redundant?
A Conyers, a train and a tractor trailer. The tractor trailer was carrying prop cars and trucks vehicles for NBC Universal Studios in Conyers. 8 o'clock at night, 8:30 at night, the tractor trailer truck could not make it over the railroad tracks on Green and South Main in Conyers. So a cop shows up, says, "Oh, your truck's on our tracks there." All of a sudden, oh my God! Here comes a train. The tractor trailer carrying the cars was stuck for 5 minutes. They tried to notify CSX of the obstruction when they heard the train coming. They got the driver out of the truck. Sure enough, the train collided with the tractor trailer truck. It took them hours to work it out. Thank God nobody got hurt. But again, how is it possible that you could have a railroad crossing that a truck can't go over?
It's Conyers. It's Conyers, Jake.
I mean,
It's
again,
Conyers.
I remind when I was up at Allatoona and I actually called the cops and said, "My God, these tracks are raising, 11 or 12 inches in the air when the train goes over them." Gee, I mean, how do you explain that?
Hey, how do you explain this? You're in Hollywood, right? And you get a big acting job. You say, okay, you're going to go to Atlanta where they film all the Marvel movies and everything. Oh, my, Benedict Cumberbatch and Scarlett Johansson. Who knows who you'll be hobnobbing with? Oh, this is the break of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And you show up here and they go, oh, no, you're going out to the studios we built in Conyers.
Yeah, Conyers, Georgia. Yeah, that's it. Well, there's a diner, after the hours. There's a place to get something to eat.
Why have they built all these studios in the worst parts of Atlanta?
Well,
Because there's so much, because
cheaper, I guess.
it's cheap and the amount of land they're getting.
Because if they build them up in Alpharetta where it's nice.
Yeah, tax breaks.
Because what's his name? Tyler Perry. His is where Lakewood. Remember Lakewood?
Yeah.
His is one
I
of his
just
is
so
there.
hope that some of these stars they're bringing in here, they at least at some point on an off day drive around in the mountains or something.
Well.
Say, this place actually is pretty.
The Shining. Yeah, right.
Lights of Lithonia.
Yeah.
Kill me now. I can say that I'm from here.
Sign of the Times, I may have this totally wrong, but a Sign of the Times in a Dear Abby column. A woman writes in, at a party recently, I met a 20-something daughter of a friend of mine. The daughter's friendly, intelligent, and very nice. I told my 20-something son about my friend's daughter and offered to get her phone number for my friend. I said he could call her if you feel like it or not or whatever, if you're interested. I only made it as a little suggestion. He was outraged. He insisted it was weird for his mother to try to fix him up with a phone call. And so he said, ask Dear Abby. So I'm asking, was it weird for me to ask my friend about her daughter's availability and pass along her phone number? He can call or not call. If he does, the two of them, da-da-da-da-da. Dear Abby says, what? Weird? Heck no. In some circles, what you did is how matches are made. Thousands or millions of mothers have done the same thing. Too bad your son reacted so negatively. Even if they weren't romantically interested, they might have become friends. Anyway, the reason the kid got freaked because she talked about calling the girl. If he can't go on social media instead with a Facebook or a whatever, he won't call her
Friends.
He freaked out.
By friends, you mean that we don't fuck anymore?
Yeah. But again, I guarantee you it's because he had no inkling of that. Oh my God! If I don't come across her on social media,
he's afraid. No, he's afraid she'll be ugly, and then he'll have to figure out some way to be nice to get out of the situation. Because he doesn't have a social media. Yeah, because he won't go on a phone and try to talk. Again, there are people who will not call or talk on the phone unless they have to. Especially now. That's right. Who talks on the phone anymore?
And you will, a blind date. If you don't, there's no such thing. You're going to get a picture off social media, videos off social media, and biographies off social media.
The thing is, the guy's probably, he goes, "Gosh, what if she's ugly?" or something like that. But then if they think about it, go, "Well, hell, mom did have to work for me."
Yeah,
he lined up this phone call.
Yeah. Anyway, it's just the whole. It just occurred to me, here we are. This is it. This is our. Pretty soon you'll be assigned. You're gonna if you have ever tried to date, all of a sudden, or maybe they do this, your phone's gonna go bleep, and you're gonna have 12 women who want to go out with you.
It's called Tinder.
Oh, I'll be damned. Well, but
it's called Tinder, Kevin.
Well, but if you're looking for them, but I mean, it's good. They're going to notify you. By the way, here's 12 girls want to have sex with you. I mean, they're going to do it on their own. GPT or ET or AI or whatever is going to arrange all this stuff.
I'm glad you just mentioned Chat GPT.
That's right. Right here.
The latest version of Chat GPT has just passed the United States medical licensing exam.
Oh, God.
Now, they're already doing surgery, laser, robotic surgery.
Right, that's right.
But now you sit there and you go to your GP and you're going to be talking to Chat GPT and asking it about your symptoms.
Is this an oral exam kind of a thing? Is this a written essay kind of a thing?
Either one, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Did you hear, did Joe Rogan did a podcast of all AI?
No.
Yeah. He played it on his show and he said, okay, ladies and gentlemen, here's my podcast. And it was Joe Rogan, sounded like Joe Rogan, talking about Joe Rogan. Then it says, of course, I'm not Joe Rogan. I'm AI showing you what would be with Joe Rogan. And it was totally fake. It was not him. Had his mannerisms.
Wait. Are you telling me, Ken Peterson, that I don't have to drive in from the mountains of Macon?
If you get that app, you can stay in the mountains of Macon. You never have to go north again.
Pete, what do you think about that?
Hey, I was just talking to you. I mean, this is a nightmare. Really, you're not going to be able to do anything with anything.
You know how you know it's bad?
Until they get the hologram. When they finally get a hologram that looks like a human standing in front of you, it's over.
They already have them. But here's how you know bad shit's happening. When you have the scientists coming out saying, "Oh, there's nothing to see here, nothing to worry about." It's already coming out because that could be Chat GPT saying, "Oh, there's nothing to worry about here."
What if Fauci is actually a robot?
Well, he's an android.
Well, we know that.
Did you hear what Shannon Burke did?
No.
Some guy named Jonathan, and he spells it John, Jonathan.
Well, of course.
I will personally participate in a gun confiscation unit.
Oh.
Anyone who refuses to hand them in will be placed under citizen's arrest until the police arrive. Mm-hmm. To which Shannon Burke responded, "You better be one big motherfucker."
Yeah, you're getting my firearms bullets first.
You're knock on the door. Yes, we're here for your guns. Excuse me?
Did you hear who's the communist-loving liberal basketball coach, NBA coach from one of the Texas teams?
Popovich. Who only goes off on these gun rants in cities that are not Democrat-run cities.
Tell him, just a synopsis. I read this the other day, but you know more about it than I do.
He's been years.
I know, but again, he was talking about the Second Amendment and how it was after the shooting in Nashville, I guess whatever it was. He said the Second Amendment's a joke. It's not real. It's not a real thing. He said, "I'll bet there's some of you right now have guns on you right now. I bet some of you are armed right now." I would have pulled it out.
You're fucking right.
I would have pulled it out.
Okay, your job is to babysit steroid freaks who have been pampered since the age of 6.
For $20 million a year.
Do I give a what your opinion is on anything?
I know. It's unbelievable.
A screaming liberal. Yeah. Oh, by the way, okay, you want the good news or the bad news?
Well, let's do the bad news first. I don't know. I don't want any news. I don't want anything.
Before you do that, keep talking. I got anything.
All right, keep talking. All right, well, I'll do a couple of birthdays. The hideous Ron Perlman. No, it's not nice. He's a nice man, I'm sure. Ron Perlman. He's got a whole.
No, he's a screaming liberal. He's an asshole.
I
just watched him on an old Blacklist, and at one point,
God.
James Spader hangs him by a necktie.
Oh!
He goes, I don't know what you're going to do with him. He's like a side of beef.
And he played in the movie with the Terminator girl when he played the monster, Beauty and the Beast.
He was Hellboy. He was good.
He's done a lot of. I mean, he looks like the
Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy, a huge star. Ron Perlman, 73. Peebo Bryson is 72. The singer. People know
who names the kid Peebo.
I know. I'm sorry. It was 72 years ago. You know who can tell you? 1920 or what? 30?
1920. That was 100 years ago.
100 years ago. 2020.
Plus.
2014. Ricky Schroeder, the little kid from Silver Spoons, then NYPD Blue, and every girl under the age of 14 in America had his poster. Ricky Schroeder's 53. Allison Williams, that naughty little daughter of Lion Brian Williams, is 35. Tony Dow, gee, Wally, played Wally Cleaver on Beaver.
Is
Leave
he
It to Beaver.
alive?
Tony Dow is 78. Huh. I thought I just read that he died.
I thought he died.
Yeah, I thought he died
only the beaver was left.
I could be right.
That's what she said.
There were 3 or 4. A little rough on the beaver last night, Ward.
All over the world, there only the beavers left.
Pretty hard on the beaver last night, Ward. In history, 1970, Apollo 13 blows up an oxygen tank just short of getting to the moon. And Kevin Bacon had to go to manual, and Tom Hanks had to build a raft and a soccer ball and try to get a shot in the buttocks. And I don't know.
I've told this as a short little story before.
Yes.
But third grade, Mrs. Musselman she asked us to pray in class for them.
There you are.
And that would never happen today.
Yeah. I think we used to say a prayer in school when we did the Pledge of Allegiance before class every day. Anyway, that was 1970. God, 1970.
Third grade.
Was 53 years ago.
I know. The fact that I can say anything, I was there for over half a century, blows my mind.
How do you think I feel?
I can't even imagine how you feel.
You think you feel good? You should feel me, baby.
You must feel like a mummy from the Pharaoh.
I do. I absolutely. I remember, I helped my mother hang clothes on the clotheslines out in the backyard.
Oh, we did that.
We didn't have nobody had a dryer. You had a clothesline.
My great grandmother had one of those roller ones that we'd dare each other stick our arms through.
How about the Iceman coming by to deliver chunks of ice for your freezer box?
No, I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Actually,
we had milkmen from Mathis Dairy.
Oh, we had them absolutely.
Remember when you actually had to dial the phone?
Then dial the phone. Oh, hell yeah. And party line.
Well, hell, you had to ring it with on the side.
No, Kimmer. What? Unless you're Mr. Douglas.
Mimi, get me, Mr. Polson.
I got to climb up the phone pole.
Let's see. 1999, Dr. Jack Kevorkian got sentenced to prison for 25 years after showing himself helping a guy with Lou Gehrig's disease commit suicide and then putting it on 60 Minutes. How do you plead? Well, as you can see here, Your Honor, he got sentenced. He got out in 8 years. 2005, the Olympic bomber Eric Rudolph pleads guilty to doing it, and while Pete Davis was right there, for God's sakes, he got 5 consecutive life sentences in return for no needle.
We were saying last week that hopefully he got buggered or something like that. Every day he's getting rogered, and someone wrote me and said that he is in that Supermax. And nobody sees him.
Nobody gets to him. Yeah, you're in solitary confinement in a little
Colorado, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
If it's Eastern Colorado, ain't nothing in Eastern Colorado.
It's over. Here we go. In 1860, the first mail arrived by Pony Express.
M-A-L-E?
A westbound rider from St. Joseph, Missouri, arrived in Sacramento.
How long did that last?
I don't know the ending date of it.
6 weeks.
Is that
the
all?
Pony Express only lasted for about 6 weeks.
Really?
Well, actually, maybe 3 months.
That.
But it was
again,
very,
it wasn't 5
short.
years. Yeah, it wasn't.
And it's become this huge thing of American myth.
Right. Yeah. 1860. That was 18. In 1954, Hank Aaron makes his first appearance for the Milwaukee Braves wearing number 5. Hank Aaron assigned to baseball for my daughter Jennifer, and later on for a final wife thing with the thing there. Hank played his last game October 3rd, 1976 for the Milwaukee Brewers. He broke Babe Ruth's record. I was there. My starter wife and a little turd who wouldn't even acknowledge my existence. I'm the one who got him the freaking ticket. Hey, is that you from the time? No. Oh, really? Oh, sorry I even mentioned it. Welcome back to Atlanta, you little slimy little turd head.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, there was a guy I worked with on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he left. He went to Seattle, worked for like 20 years. All of a sudden, when I come back to town, he's back to town, sees my Facebook page, and he's listening. Or he's doing. He didn't say hi to me. He was on my Facebook page one day because he's married to a girl who works at one of the radio stations here in town. Anyway, so his name popped up, and I wrote, "Oh my God, is that the same so and so I used to work with back in the '70s?" And he said, "No." And it was him. I mean, obviously, no, anyway, just because I'm a conservative and I got fired from We Suck and Blither, where his girlfriend works. And so he's now, I've been blackballed by all these people anyway. But that, they're little shit. I'm the one who bought him his ticket and convinced him to go to the freaking game. He wasn't going. I got an extra ticket. I went to the ballpark to get that ticket and brought it back and said, "Here, you want to go with us?" And he said, "Okay."
I am so sorry.
Sorry you brought it up. All right, I'm almost done. All right. 76, Hank's last game, Milwaukee Brewers. Then later, Barry Bonds, whose head grew 14 sizes from steroids, cheatedly broke Hank's record in 2007. By the way, Barry Bonds did have a hung jury in a steroid trial, but he was guilty of obstruction of justice, which is
they tell through those railings.
Small consolation.
All right, good news or bad news? What do you want?
Well, let's take the bad news. I guess bad news.
Take the bad news?
I don't know.
Hit it, Flounder.
Uh-oh. Here we go. What now? You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Said hit it? Don't look at him. Look at me.
All right.
Hit it.
He's not hitting it.
It's the volume. Sorry.
That's not hitting it. No.
If you were wanting to see Gordon Lightfoot concert
Oh, no.
in the United States or Canada this year,
Yeah.
you're out of luck.
Oh, no.
He has released from Toronto a statement. He canceled all his schedule for this year. He's experiencing health-related issues. He's older than dirt. I don't know if you've seen him. Is unable to confirm rescheduled dates at this time. I hope you respect his privacy as he focuses on his recovery. This does not sound good.
It doesn't give his age. You'd think they'd mention how old he is because he's got to be, on.
How old is Gordon Lightfoot? Let's see. Gordon. I asked Siri. 84.
Yeah. Well, 84 is pretty old, even though these days it doesn't seem that old, but it is.
Even though you're staying at nice hotels and stuff like that, the travel itself.
It's lifestyle.
Eating.
Jamie Foxx, have you heard about that? Jamie Foxx was in the hospital with some medical emergency the family won't talk about, and they're praying for his recovery.
Wonder what happened there.
I don't know.
All right. The good news is.
Good news.
And by the way, Ozzy Albies is cleaning up.
By the way, I was sure you were going to sing, "Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail." Because remember we had the guys singing that.
I wasn't going to steal that guy's act. Got a person you think I am. Ozzy Albies.
I know exactly the guy. Oh, sorry.
Last night, Ozzy Albies was doing a commercial for Dairy Queen, and then I saw him do one for BMW. And the BMW, he's the star.
Really, I haven't seen that.
It's really
either.
funny. But anyway, Dairy Queen is serving up 85-cent blizzards.
Oh my!
Now, 85-cent blizzards.
I haven't had
this
a
limited
Dairy
time
Queen.
or they?
It doesn't say.
Oh, we used to go to Dairy. We would go every weekend for sure. Take the dogs, and I would go into when I had my bull mastiff, and I would Harley, and I'd put him in the back seat, drive into the Dairy Queen, and they'd see this big monster head drooling out the back window, and they always give him a cup of ice cream. But oh my God, we would get I'd get dilly bars take home. I would get the peanut buster parfait and add hot fudge when I got home. I'd buy their hot fudge. Their hot fudge was delicious. I'd buy it by the container. And I didn't get a lot of blizzards, but the peanut butter parfait, and what was the other one? There was another sundae of some kind. Anyway,
and there was always Dennis the Menace was their spokesman. But
oh God, and they were and that just that soft ice cream and the hot fudge is so good. Are they even open? I guess obviously.
Oh yeah,
still
there's
around.
Dairy Queens all over the place now.
Well, I don't see them anywhere. I'm gonna go find one.
Go find one if it's 85 cents.
I want to buy a couple of Dilly Busters, and there was another thing too that was a frozen thing. I can't remember. Crap. Anyway, good idea.
All right. Well, that's basically all I had.
All righty. Any more weird theaters of any kind or anything?
Oh, wait a minute. We got while he's looking up the weird theater.
Oh, you had a funny joke. It made you laugh before the show.
Huh?
Wasn't that today? Or was that yesterday? You were laughing, and so I said, "What's
that's that's right before the show started.
Yeah, that's
you
right
mentioned
here.
that.
That's what I was reaching for.
Let's do it while Flounder finds us a thing.
All right, here we go.
All right. Yes.
All right.
All right.
Glenda
Yeah.
was fed up with the stuffy know-it-all seated next to her at the dinner party.
Yeah.
All your hot air doesn't impress me, she finally snapped. Pick a fight with me and you'd get tit for tat. Okay, said the boar. Tat.
How can I turn this about me? Reminds me of the time I had a blind date at the Waldorf Astoria for the Hope Cotillion.
No, not that
and
one.
she hated me from the first
Not that
minute she
story.
set eyes on me. And I wasn't bad looking. This is back when I was in college. Anyway,
Keep telling yourself that.
hated me. Bitch. Sorry. I was wrong. It was wrong. It was
All right,
50,
it's
60 years
lady and me. Who are you, lady,
a
or
lady
me?
and me. The lady and
Let's see. I'll be me.
All right. Emergency. Any doctor here?
Yes, I'm a doctor of English.
Do you know CPR?
I know the entire alphabet.
So there.
Take that.
Boys, any weekend plan? But it's likely to be a rainy weekend. But you doing any traveling, or how's your house moving in? Or are you all?
I was taking because of the old hip injury the other day. I took it low.
Did you get a black and
I was
blue
gonna
mark?
say,
I've got a
what's-
very deep blue thing
Is it
starting
worth
there.
showing on the camera?
No, not yet. Maybe it'll grow.
Take a picture or something.
It's mainly a deep bruise, so it's not really showing on the surface.
But
But
now, can you walk around?
I
Is it
walk
over?
and I drive fine. It's when I can't lay on my left side yet, and
Wow.
if I brush up against
That's
something,
from sliding down a frosty.
fall on my ass and
It's not
slide
from
down.
sliding, it's from falling.
Yes, that's
falling.
Well,
The
that'll
slide
do
was
it.
fun.
Yeah, slide sounds fun. A lot better too. Anyway, Flounder, any weird weekend
I'm
stuff?
gonna watch this guy.
Watch Kitty Cat. Oh, Luke, there he comes. He says, "Oh, I didn't get him."
He is obsessed with that front. Like, he likes when I pick him up and take him outside for a minute because he likes to hear the birds and stuff. And it's to the point now he's just waiting at that door sometimes. And when he comes out, he doesn't run away. He'll just run out and then he just pauses. Then he just kind of lays around. And
Man, you don't want him to get away. You can't get away, right? I mean, you put a leash on him or anything.
I mean, I'm careful. I mean, he's not trying to get away or anything like that.
Yeah.
He's just curious.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. He sees a squirrel. Zoink. Anyway, he's a great cat. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Hoorah, God bless America. Thank you all, thekimmershow.net, and we're very grateful. It's a symphony.